Graduates, you may now be seated. Well done. How about that? Let's hear it for our choir students. Welcome to the commencement ceremony for the class of 2019 here at Capitol High School. My name is Brett Zanto, principal here at Capitol High, and I'd like to thank everyone for being here today to support this graduating class. I would like to introduce the individuals who are assisting with the celebration today. The orchestra is under the direction of Mr. Zach Harris. And the choir, once again, under the direction of Mr. Beatty. As for the individuals up here on stage today, starting from my right, fellow administrators, Mr. Walt Chauncey and Mrs. Kathy Kidder. School board members Luke Miskevich, Sarah Sullivan, Libby Goldies, and John McEwen. Our distinguished guest speaker today, Mr. Dean Fulford. And our superintendent, Dr. Tyler Ream, and assistant superintendent, Josh McKay. First off, what a beautiful morning. I cannot think after the winter that we had. I think we'll take all that we can get, even though we got a little bit of smoke here. I cannot tell you, speaking of wintertime, how many times I would see on my Twitter feed, "Snow day today, Zanto." If we had followed your recommendations, I think we would have been celebrating this on the July 4th holiday. But today is a great day to celebrate and honor the accomplishments of these students seated here. As many of you are aware, in our district, we've been closely tracking ACT data. And in regard to this class last spring, these graduates here placed in at least the top 5 amongst all AA high schools in regard to the percentage of benchmark in all subcategories of the ACT, and they far exceeded the Montana state average. Such a fact is due to all of you seated in the stands here today, as well as our students, and the hard work and support and encouragement shown by the staff at Capitol High. Not only do we excel in the ACT, but in a lot of other areas as well. You see, each month, any students that place first in a state competition in a variety of activities, they're recognized at a monthly board meeting. On just one evening, this past December 11th, the following activities were all recognized. Multiple state science Olympiad winners, 2 students highlighted as being Congressional App Challenge winners for the state of Montana. And finally, the Capitol High School girls volleyball state championship team for the Class AA. Then, after that meeting, I headed back to Capitol High, where our wrestling team was victorious in a duel that same evening. Once again, that's all in one night, and that's in a variety of areas. You see, this is Capitol High, and I knew that this was a school where we could be recognized in so many different ways. And it's due to, once again, the efforts of our students sitting here. And to be able to see students involved in so many activities is very exciting to see. However, these students may not always be perfect. We did have a few senior pranks here recently. A few weeks ago, I received this email from a staff member, and I'm serious about this. Not sure how true it is, but I've been warned by people not to drink the water this week in relation to senior pranks. Not sure what's up, but there's rumors of putting laxatives in the water. Now, I don't even know how this is possible, but that's a thing that's the rumor mill that makes me super uncomfortable. My response was, uncomfortable? Now that's an understatement. So let me get this straight. Once again, how is this possible? At first I was like, come on, how are they going to put a bunch of X-Lax in the drinking water at Capitol High? But then I got to thinking, as I look at some of these students with some of the brain power we have, they could probably figure this out. Time passed and I forgot about it until prom night, after I'd had a few glasses of water, and I looked at that water urn, and I was a little nervous, I must admit. Let's see, some of our senior band students played the school song throughout the hallways. Now, I thought that was great. Then fast forward to last Friday. There were dogs all over the building. At one point, we had a report of a present being dropped from a dog somewhere on the main floor after first period started. So here I am with some paper towels and a baggie trying to find this prized object somewhere. I never did find it. However, I finally got to thinking, where in my educational courses did I ever learn about this? This graduating class of 2019 was involved in the midst of many curricular changes in this district, most of which started their 7th grade year. These seniors sitting before us are continuing the academic excellence from those previous classes before them. These students excelled in vocational areas, in art, in writing, on the field, on the court and mat, on the track, in the recent state legislative session, on the stage, on the risers, in community service projects, and in various district, state, and national competitions within a variety of clubs. However, aside from the successes highlighted here this morning, the graduates before us today will face even more challenges than the ACT or the curricular modifications found at Capitol High. However, as exemplified by the perseverance shown so far, they are well prepared for the obstacles that will come their way. Seniors, no matter where you go after today, all of you share one common bond, and that is Capitol High School. Some of you will go far, some of you will remain near. At various moments in your lifetime, you will think back on the events, memories, the good times or bad times, found inside and outside the hallways of Capitol High and of this ceremony today. You join a very proud collection of Capitol High graduates. To the Capitol High class of 2019, job well done. It is now my pleasure to introduce our superintendent, Dr. Tyler Ream, to the podium for his welcome.
Good morning. Beautiful day indeed. I want to start out by thanking everybody who set this whole thing up over the last few days, including the gentleman over there in the bright green. They were given the task of blowing the smoke out of the area. Don't know how they did it, but they pulled it off. On behalf of our Board of Trustees and every employee serving in the Helena Public Schools, I want to say welcome this morning. Got a few quick comments, and I'm going to start out with our parents and family. While I am just completing my first year as part of our Helena team, I want to thank you for the honor of sharing the opportunity to be part of your child's life. Clearly, you provide us with a mix of trust and support each day, and as an educator, I want you to know how much this opportunity to work with your child means to everyone at Capitol High and across our entire school system. The saying goes, it takes a village, but in reality, it takes partnership, trust, collaboration, and support. You have provided us with that, and we are grateful to share this important chapter of your child's life, including this wonderful event this morning. Few words for our Capitol High staff, the educators, the support team, and the administrators. Thank you for accepting the calling, not only to teach, but to educate the future of our community, our state, and our nation. Unless you are related to an educator in some regard, it's hard to understand the dedication, the sacrifice, and the incredible energy that goes into teaching every single day. We've carried these students home these same students in our head every single night, worrying about them, caring about them, and considering everything within your power as educators to help them meet their full potential. And while we do this for the benefit of our kids, they have a strange way of tormenting us, don't they? They are so full of potential, and our time with them is so brief. Therefore, the sense of urgency is so high across these 4 years. As a parent and as a fellow educator, thank you, Capitol High staff, for what you do. Job well done. And finally, to our graduates, for the record, you are my favorite graduating class at Capitol High to date. You might be second at this time next year. We'll see how 2020 does. No, in all seriousness, it is you, this class of 2019, that has taught me what it means to be a Bruin. Your immense intellect, your spirit, your competitiveness, and this is a word that I think of when I think of Capitol High, your class. And yes, I applaud the dogs that came to school last Friday. If only I could have been there to see Mr. Zanto's face. But I have a challenge for you, graduates. Do not let this beautiful sun go down on you today without thinking about everybody who has helped you to get to this place today. This is a day for you, it's a celebration for you, but you are not here on your own. Your parents, your family members, educators, anybody that has helped you, pushed you, pulled you, dragged you to this point in time, make sure that this sun doesn't go down without you stopping, looking them in the eye, giving them a hug or a firm handshake, and saying, thank you. I'm proud of you. I'm excited for you. I am honored to be here alongside you this morning. And on behalf of our entire school system and our community, congratulations. Thank you.
At this point, we would like to honor those students who have excelled academically over the past 4 years. Our first award is the Full Bore Award. These are for students who have taken at least 8 or more credits of either AP, honors, and/or accelerated courses receiving a B letter grade or higher, a minimum of cumulative GPA of a 3.5, and to graduate with a minimum of 26 credits. So at this time, I would like to call these students forward. Nicole Ames. Riley Ames. Chloe Anderson. Ulysses Berrigan. Jonah Bibbo. Elizabeth Black. Madison Blixt. Audrey Bloomquist. Norris Blossom. Ari Baumgars. Cassie Briscoe. Noah Brooks. Dylan Campbell. Daniel Carter. Tyler Cummings. Brianna Curry. Ethan Davidson. Cameron Dorrington. Will Fields. Andromeda Griffin. Jessica Griffiths. Lauren Helbling. Cameron Holston. Garrett Kieber. Jason Key. Alyssa Naff. Gage LaRue. John LaRue. Brody Light. Peter Lund. Isaac Marshall. Adam Mays. Clara McRae. Isabel Melton. Thomas Nelson. Alex Northey. Justin Patton. Amanda Penley. Harrison Pershawn. Natasha Peterson. Beatrice Pujol. Kinsey Quintana. Audrey Reynolds. Caitlin Robinson. You all right? Madeline Robinson. Nevada Strandberg. Mariah Thomas. Hayden Tillinger. Natalie White. Noah Whitehorn. And Trenton Wright. All right, congratulations to all of our Full Bore Award winners. Next up, we would like to announce our class of 2019 salutatorians. These are students who have only earned one B throughout their academic career at Capitol High School. So I'm going to ask for the following students to come up to receive their salutatorian award. Madison Margaret Blixt. Sydney Arlene Gates. Madison Lee Holmes. Isaiah Scott McClellan. Clara Dorothy McRae. Emma Noel Schlimgen. Natalie Marie White. And Michaela Faye Witter. Congratulations to our salutatorians for the class of 2019. And finally, now is the time for our valedictorians for the class of 2019. These are students that achieved a perfect 4.0 GPA throughout their four-year career. Please come forward when I say your name. Riley Ann Ames. Jonah Gregory Bibot. Elizabeth Ann Black. Audrey Neal Bloomquist. Norris Hugh Blossom. Brianna Jean Curry. Elizabeth Ann Davidson. Ethan Jesse Davidson. Andromeda Lee Griffin. Lauren Grace Helbling. Delaney Rose Hepner. Allie Marie Hicks. Cameron Jean Holston. Kylie Ann Longnecker. Peter Arlo Lund. Michaela Rose Marshall. Isabel Brooks Melton. Thomas Shumway Nelson. Justin Allen Patton. Natasha Rose Peterson. Beatrice Olivia Pujol. Savannah Sage Schneider. Sydney Marie Sheridan. Jamie May Starkey. Sophia Eileen Sticht. Nevada Lee Strandberg. Mariah Colleen Thomas. And Hayden Clark Tillinger. So at this time, I would like to ask our 5 students who were selected to speak at graduation today up to the podium. Norris Blossom, Bella Melton, Amanda Penley, Mariah Thomas, and Seth Lang.
Good morning. On behalf of the class of 2019, I am pleased to welcome all faculty, alumni, friends, family, and distinguished guests to the class of 2019's Capitol High graduation ceremony. My name is Norris Blossom, and I am honored to have the opportunity to speak on this special day. When I first entered the labyrinth of Capitol High School 4 years ago, I was scared, confused, and dressed in a revolting amount of neon clothing, which all freshmen are biologically drawn towards. In the midst of my first chaotic day, I heard something that would stick with me for years to come. It's a great day to be a Bruin. For each and every one of us, there have been so many experiences that have made it a great day to be a Bruin. It was a great day to be a Bruin when at basketball games, our student section made the opponent section look like a Sunday school group. Or when we watched Mr. Zanto try to do a cartwheel at an assembly last year. Or when we rode through the Vigilante Parade on a float that didn't turn out quite as we pictured. It was a great day to be a Bruin when our volleyball team won the state tournament this year. Or when all 4 of our band programs were ranked superior at this year's District Music Festival. And when our theater program earned Best Troupe in Montana this year. Our class of 2019 has furnished success across a breadth of fields and created memories that will stay with us for the rest of our lives. As we pioneered through these past 4 years, we have all contributed to the culture that has shaped each of us. But it hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows. We have faced our share of challenges as well. In fact, many of these challenges made us question if it is indeed a good day to be a Bruin. Like that day in math class, after a test, when you overheard your classmates debating whether the answer to number 5 was cosine of x or sine of x. But you got 7. Or when spring started in March, but it's April 25th, -3 degrees outside and snowing, and you start to wonder if humans are really meant to live in Montana. These challenges constantly bonded us together. Here we go, found my spot, no worries, folks. Although we have all formed our high school experience in unique ways, we certainly have some overlapping memories that make us smile. Whether you were at a bonfire with 50 people or at home watching a movie with 5, you were making lifelong memories. Whether you were screaming until you lost your voice at the football game, or at home playing board games with friends, you made sure your Friday night was lit. And whether you drove a diesel truck or a Prius to school, it was impossible to find a parking spot. As easy as it is to feel like we have drifted apart from each other these past 4 years, we share a great deal with each other. And as much credit as we graduates deserve today, there is also recognition due for those who helped us get here. Thank you to the teachers who dedicate their lives to improving ours. Thank you to the parents who have molded us into the young men and women we are today. Thank you to Wikipedia for being the greatest source of all time. Thank you to Slater, Photomath, and SparkNotes for helping us through tough assignments. And finally, thank you to coffee, Red Bull, and adrenaline for truly making anything possible. Today marks a milestone in all of our lives. We have worked tirelessly to make the most out of our time at Capitol High. The class of 2019 has produced incredible diversity, but we all share one common trait. Whether you are a paw print editor, an NP club leader, a basketball player, or a Skills USA member, we are all proud to be a part of the Bruin family. For us, today is more than a great day to be a Bruin. Today is a great day to be a graduate. Congratulations, class of 2019.
I'm a little bit shorter than him, so. Okay. Good morning. When I was auditioning for the opportunity to speak with you today, I was told to keep my speech under 5 minutes. I was admittedly perplexed at first, wondering what could I possibly say in 5 minutes. And then I got to thinking, 5 minutes is a lot of time to do something when it comes to our class. Jesse McMurtry ran a mile in less than 5 minutes this year. In the last 5 minutes of the crosstown game on February 23rd, our Capitol boys basketball team sealed the win against Helena High. Yes. Sarah Pavesk sang an amazing rendition of the national anthem at the NHS banquet last month, and she did that in less than 2 minutes. Norris Blossom, Mariah Thomas, and Alex Northey aced first place at the state economics contest, and they had 5 minutes to spare. We have even shown that we can get things done in a matter of seconds. 62 seconds for Sydney Sheridan to run a quarter mile. 3 seconds for Lee Lambert to pin down one of his opponents in a wrestling match. 12.16 seconds for Audrey Bloomquist to sprint 100 meters. And it takes less than 5 seconds to look a classmate in the eye, smile, and let them know they are seen and valued, because truly, niceness is priceless, and it only takes a matter of seconds to change someone's life. There may be 282 students in our graduating class, but we are more than just this number. So, with high school now behind us, and with the proof that we are pretty efficient when it comes to use of time, the question arises, what will we do with the rest of our lives? What can we do to challenge ourselves to be our very best, serve each other, and ultimately make the world a better place? There's no shortage of problems facing the world today. War, poverty, hunger, terrorism, and discrimination are all issues we have discussed in our classes and that we find in the news every day. And we do not know whether we will have a day, a year, or decades to be our very best and make a difference. All we have to decide to do is what to do with the time that is given to us. So, Let's cast aside any doubts or disappointments, ready ourselves for the time of our lives, and use the gift of time that we've been given to ultimately change the world. And it is not necessary to find the cure to cancer or become the CEO of a major corporation in order to change the world. Our goals for change come from within ourselves. We set our own destiny and we make our own purpose. So, whether we change the world by inspiring a student, like so many teachers are with us today, farming to provide food for people across America or even across the world, creating new high-tech robots, or actually becoming the CEO of a major corporation, each contribution we will make is our own, and it is unique. I know that the value of every second, minute, day, and year that each of us spends over the course of our lives will add up to something special. Once again, congratulations, class of 2019. We made it.
Some of us here, suited in these sticky, expensive brown and gold robes, worked really hard to be here. Of course, all of us worked hard to graduate, but some of us worked really, really, really hard. Before you get the wrong idea, I'm not talking about myself. Believe me, I worked hard, just like all of you, but I am mostly, if not entirely, a product of my privilege. I've learned a whole heck of a lot about privilege this year. Watching many of my classmates battle the loss of parents, watching some of you manage to get your assignments in on time while not knowing where your next meal was coming from, watching many of you work full-time to earn a paycheck and full-time to earn a diploma. Watching you all confront conflict and trudge through life's twisted and unfair curveballs stood as a testament to how the power of luck and the capabilities of this class are truly immeasurable. I was lucky enough to spend my childhood in the heart of suburban America, inside a warm home with walls lined with bookshelves. I was lucky to spend rainy days strolling through art museums and libraries with my mom. I was fortunate enough to grow up in an engaging environment that fostered a strong sense of curiosity that still runs deep in my bones. I'm telling you all this because over this past year, I've realized that none of us here earned our childhoods, good or bad. I myself, Amanda Marie Penley, did not do a single thing to earn any component of my upbringing. Did my own merit allow me to be born in America? No. Did I work hard to have 2 working, educated parents? No. Was I born into a middle-income family because I earned it? Nope. The diploma I will get today is due largely to my privilege, and I'd be naive to think everyone graduating today was as fortunate as I am. So this is my small and probably insignificant shout out to all of you graduating today, those who pushed boundaries and moved mountains to be here, those who weren't finding safety inside a warm home each night, those who lost a sibling or parent during these past 4 years, those who battled your own physical or mental health problems, those who ate out of the Bruin pantry on weekends. You did it. And you probably had to work harder to be here than I've ever had to work in my life. While each and every one of our successes and achievements in high school are absolutely worthy of recognition, it is also vital that we acknowledge the series of lucky circumstances that played a large role in getting some of us here. Let us use the acknowledgement of our privilege to ensure that we invite everyone to the table, those different and alike. Allow this realization to serve as a tool in our toolbox in each of our next adventures. Let the walls of Capitol High propel us forward as we explore the world in the form of bold, forward-thinking, and inclusive leaders. May this be a reminder of how lucky we all are, and more importantly, how capable we are. I'm inspired by each and every one of you. It's unreal to think we made it. I don't think the world is ready for all 282 of us hungry and wide-eyed graduates. They've never seen a class like ours before. Go Brew.
Thank you, Amanda, for that great reminder of the adversities and struggles we've gone through to get here today, and how inspiring it is that we've made us here. And speaking of inspirational, to me, the class of 2019 can be defined in one word: inspired. The class of 2019 has been this way since the first day we walked into Capitol High School. While each of us experiences the sensation of being inspired in different ways, our inspiration to fight for our goals, for what we believe in, for a bigger purpose, this common theme of inspiration has united us all. What has struck me most about this common theme of inspiration in the class of 2019 is the amount of people in our grade who have become inspired to lead. Each of us has unique and diverse interests and passions for our leadership. Some have been inspired to lead in politics. Students in the class of 2019 worked both sides of political campaigns last fall, but were able to come together in the classroom to discuss controversial issues in a respectful way. Others of us have been inspired to make a positive difference in our communities. Whether we put in the time volunteering with Special Olympics, Key Club, Niceness is Priceless, or youth groups, many of the students in our grade made a commitment throughout their high school years to making their community a better place by serving others. This service makes us compassionate. Our genuine caring nature for each other is such a special aspect of the 2019 class of Capitol High School. Still, others of our peers were inspired to lead with their academics in the classroom. The class of 2019 as a whole consistently strives to be the best we can be. And the number of students sitting here as valedictorians today, which is a ton, in case you hadn't noticed, in combination with the number of students who were recognized by the Helena Education Foundation as distinguished scholars, is a testament to that. This leadership in academics extended to the school-sponsored clubs at Capitol High School. The class of 2019 were leaders in STEM clubs, business clubs, student council, arts, sports, and school spirit, even when we struggled to agree on game themes. Each of these clubs were led by and participated in by optimistic, kind, encouraging leaders who inspired students in the grades below them to challenge themselves to be more involved. The example our grade has set is one that is sure to be followed for many years to come. These examples, and many more from Capitol High's graduating class this year, clearly show a pattern of inspiration and that this inspiration leaves a legacy. As student leaders, our class has become impassioned to continue this pattern of making a tangible difference. This passion has been encouraged by teachers and staff at Capitol High School, whether they're telling us to follow our dreams or yelling at us about John C. Calhoun's neck hair. But that's a side note. Anyway, one of the most important things we should take away from our 4 years walking these hallways is the knowledge that our inspired attitudes cause a chain reaction. The effects of this chain reaction are not to be underestimated. There is no doubt in my mind that there are future representatives, founders of nonprofits, vloggers, rappers, and all types of movers and shakers sitting in this crowd of diverse, intelligent, creative students today. Whether we're gonna be SoundCloud rappers or the president of the world, we're leaving with all the tools we need to ensure that our futures have the ability to be whatever we want them to be. Truly, we all have the capacity to aim for the stars in whatever field we so choose, as tacky as that may sound. I know that Capitol High's class of 2019 will continue to leave a legacy of supporting one another in a combined state of leadership and inspiration. Each of you left an imprint. Each of you left somebody else inspired, and I hope you take the knowledge that you have that ability and you do some good in the world. And last but not least, never forget, as the cast of High School Musical so eloquently put it, we're all in this together.
Good morning, class of 2019. My name is Seth Lang. Now, I haven't always been a Bruin. I moved here during my sophomore year. Many of you understand the hardships of moving to another school and city. Moving isn't as simple as getting up from one place and moving to the next. It's a lot more complicated than that. You have to leave behind your close friends and bonds you formed with teachers. But when I moved, it was different. Different because I was starting a new chapter in my life. Starting a new chapter is hard. Sometimes you don't know where the story is taking you. I for sure didn't know where I was going to go. If you would have told me I was going to become president of drama club, act in 7 plays, and I was going to be standing right here before all my fellow Bruins, I would have thought you were insane. My first months at Capitol were really tough. The one thing I did have for myself was a new vision, an idea as how I was going to reinvent myself in this new chapter in my life. I was going to write my own story. I started to take chances. The most difficult thing about chances is you never know what it might bring. I took a chance and I auditioned for my first play, Rumors. I will admit, Miss Braco did push me to audition, so I did. I got the minor part of Officer Pudney. I'm going to start off by saying I didn't do that great of a job. On the first night, I messed up my lines, and I only had 2 of them. But that didn't stop Miss Braco from taking me under her wing. The last 2 years have been amazing for me, all because of one chance and a little push from one of my favorite teachers. I became heavily involved in theater and drama club. It became my home away from home. Theater doesn't just teach you how to read Shakespeare or act theatrically. It's much more than that. It has taught me to tackle hard issues head on, become a better public speaker, and keep on trying even if I fail. The reason I told you my experience here was not to talk about myself, but to show you what it means to write your own story. You get to decide what chances, what path, and what story you are going to write. Many of us will decide to continue your education. Many of you will continue to master different skills and specialized jobs. And many of you will decide to continue to expand your resume and work ethic. Whatever you decide to do, just remember that you are the author of each chapter. This next chapter is going to be scary, and I don't blame any of you. For most of our lives, the chapters have been largely written by our parents and our teachers. So, being able to take the pen and paper and write our own may seem hard. But there is one thing that we forget, that throughout the years, our parents and our teachers have left either really big hints or really small ones on how to go from here. No, I'm not saying that Mr. Partridge throwing a marker down the hall to try to make it into Mr. Larson's room was a hint, but you never know. So, class of 2019, today is the day we walk across this stage and enter the next chapter in our lives. Just remember 3 things. Take chances, because you never know what doors might open. Don't forget, don't forget to ask teachers or family members for help. They are here to help us. And just remember that you are the author of your story. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Congratulations, class of 2019. Now get out there and write one hell of a story. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to welcome Norris Blossom to remain here to introduce our guest speaker today.
Hello again, my name's Norris Blossom. I'm the student body president at Capitol High School, but you probably know me as the guy who just stumbled through his speech about 15 minutes ago. More importantly, ladies and gentlemen, today it is my honor to introduce our keynote speaker who was once sitting right where we are now. Dean Fulford is a Capitol High graduate who later became one of Montana's most renowned entrepreneurs, and his impact on Montana has been incredible. Dean is the founder of Wheat Montana Farms. Under his leadership, Wheat Montana has earned the Montana Family Business of the Year honor in 1994. In 1997, he was named Montana's Small Business Person of the Year. And in 1999, Wheat Montana Farms won the Best Managed Farms contest in the entire United States. And my personal favorite, Wheat Montana Farms has also made its way into the Guinness Book of World Records for cutting, milling, mixing, and baking a loaf of bread in just 8 minutes and 13 seconds. But even as outside of his business endeavors, Dean is an extremely accomplished individual. In 2001, he was named Citizen of the Year by the Montana Association of Secondary School Principals. Just 1 year later, he was named Honorary Big Brother of the Year by Big Brothers and Big Sisters, an award which he would win again in 2017. Dean has sat on councils for the governor, the Federal Reserve Bank, and the MSU Leadership Institute, to name a few. From winning the state championship in livestock auctioneering to earning the Bozeman Community Excellence Award, Dean is one of the most influential, successful, and community-oriented Montanans around. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming on stage Dean Fulford.
That was a little more of an introduction than I expected or deserved, but I have to admit I didn't hate it. So thank you, Norris. I got to meet those kids the other day at Capitol High School, and it was really a joy to go back to the hallowed halls of the brown and gold and see you guys in action, meet the class officers, get to know the school a little bit better. And the first guy I saw there was Walt Chauncey, who was actually a teacher and a coach when I was at Capitol High in '78, 41 years ago. So some things change, but some things never do. I also know that Mr. Carter is still a coach at Capitol High School, and he was a head basketball coach, teacher, when I was there as well, and he's in the stands today. So let's give both of those guys a round of our appreciation for their commitment to Capitol High School and Helena and all you guys and everything that this institution has accomplished over the years. First of all, thank you, faculty, administrators, Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, family members, for having me here today, but especially the class of 2019 for giving me a call a couple of months ago to come back to my alma mater and give the commencement address. You know, when you get asked to do a commencement address, it's a pretty big deal. But when you get asked to come back to the school where you graduated, it actually is a very humbling experience. And so I'm very happy to be here. So thank you. You know, I graduated in '78. A lot of things were different, but a few things were the same. I mean, different is the way we listened to music back then. We used 8-track tapes and vinyl records. But the band Queen was pretty hot. And you guys are still listening to Queen, so some things do actually stay the same. In fact, I think there are a lot more similarities today to what's going on here than there are differences. I can remember the excitement, the sense of accomplishment, and how proud I was to have been a Bruin for 4 years. And I know all of those things and all those great thoughts are going through the hearts of you graduates here today. Now, I realize this is a season for giving advice, and you guys are all getting plenty of it. And before the day is over, I venture to bet that you're going to get a lot more. And I'm not going to leave you with axioms like get a better college, better education, go to college, or be a rapid learner. There's only 24 hours in every day, so use your time wisely. Stay disciplined, stay focused, work on the right things, don't get distracted, or have a deep sense of purpose in your life. I want to leave you with an axiom or a concept that's treated me very well in my life, and one that I developed, and one that we've relied on over and over as our family has made it through our careers and the things that we've done, the things that we've accomplished. And I think it's something that's been the most important one, and the one that I think about every single day. And it is, if you dream alone, it's only a dream. I'm going to say it again. If you dream alone, it's only a dream. That's the one concept that I want to leave you guys with before my few minutes up here is over here today. Here's the backstory. My mom and dad weren't the wealthiest people. In fact, they weren't very wealthy at all. But they were the hardest working two people that I ever knew. And my brother and I were raised on a little farm in the east part of the valley. Actually, if you guys know where the Glass Slipper is, my dad had a little farm right down there. And as we finished 8th grade in East Helena, then we made the big move to Capitol High. And that was a pretty big deal. I mean, I'd never seen so many new faces and new things in my life, and the peer pressure was unbelievable. I thought coming from East Helena that I'd make it on the football team, but I didn't realize that I was a lot smaller than all the Helena kids. But the wrestling team needed a 98-pounder, and so I certainly stepped up for that and signed up. Made the varsity team the first year, got a letterman's jacket. Not going to lie, I was kind of a big man on campus. And I thought, this is my ticket to get to know some of the ladies. Well, I learned the hard way that the ladies weren't that interested in 98-pound guys. My academic experience at Capitol High was not as stellar as it could have been. My fault. Not because the teachers weren't pushing or trying hard, but I was a whole lot more interested in wrestling and being a bull rider than I was in competing at the classroom level. But in the winter of my senior year, my dad came to me because my mom and dad decided they were going to sell the farm and move to Three Forks and buy a bigger farm. They had a dream, they had a vision, and my dad came to me and asked me if I'd be his partner in this venture. I wasn't even out of high school yet, but I knew that's what I wanted to do. He said, with one caveat, you got to go to MSU, get a degree in ag business, to come back to the farm and offer a little more than just your labor. And so I made a deal with him, and we became partners that night. In fact, we were actually moving this weekend when we were graduating here at Capitol High. He shared his dream with me that night, and he had a vision, and I bought in. So I went to MSU, and my academic experience there was very similar to my academic experience at Capitol High School. But I found out something in college. They don't mess around. If you're not going to be part of the program, if you're not going to get good grades, they'll send you a letter, and then they've got some nice departing gifts for you. I got that letter, and it was a gigantic wake-up call. But I also got lucky, and I met somebody who became very important to me. She was smart, she was articulate, she was pretty and fun. And she wasn't going to mess around with a guy that had a bad attitude, wasn't interested in learning, and had bad manners. And I just don't know what would have happened to me if I'd have never met Hope, and she helped me turn my life around, and I actually started acting like a man. And things actually went pretty well. We got married and went back to the farm. There weren't many opportunities on the farm then. She went to school as a teacher at Willow Creek. I worked on the farm and became an auctioneer to try to make a few extra dollars so we could rub a few nickels together, and it went pretty well. It actually led us to an opportunity to have a seminal event that would forever change our lives. We went to Hawaii in economy class, stayed in economy hotels, but we ended up on a pineapple plantation on Maui where they actually grew pineapples in these beautiful fields. They had a big processing facility, and in the front they had a store where people could buy pineapples, and the place was packed. And I looked at Hope and I said, geez, I think we could do that with the wheat from our farm and call it Wheat Montana. And I shared the idea with her that day, and she immediately bought into it. We couldn't wait to get home back to Montana so we could talk to my mom and dad about the idea, which they immediately bought into, and we were off to the races. 2 + 2 equaled more than 4. When you get people working together and totally committed, you guys know that it's an exponential increase in energy. So as we went forward, we had our first customer with a few bags of wheat. Then it was a half a truckload of wheat. And somebody in Salt Lake got a hold of some of our wheat, and we sold a full truckload, and we knew we were in business. We were dreaming together. We added employees, and we started dreaming, sharing our vision with them, and things just started to happen. And every time we brought new people into the company, we expanded because they bought in. And when we wanted to build a bigger plant and facility out at Three Forks, we dreamed with a couple of bankers, and they let us do that, and they bought in. So every time that we've grown the company, we've dreamed together with other people we didn't even know before, and our dreams and our visions eventually came true. Now, Hope and I have stepped aside, and we've actually shared our vision and goals and what the company can be with investors, and we've turned the operations of the company over to an investor group and our management team, and they're dreaming big, and they're growing the company, and they're selling wheat and flour and bread in places we never thought we could reach: Alaska, Guam, Mexico, hopefully Mexico. And it's just amazing to see, what's gone on with the company. So I want to reiterate with you guys, when you dream alone, it's only a dream. My dad had a dream and a vision of having a bigger farm. He shared it with me, and I bought in. Every time that we've dreamed together with other people, it's been amazing what has happened and where we've gone. And I say to all of you guys, it's the same. If you dream alone, it's only a dream. You have to share your dreams, your goals, your visions with people that can help you make it happen. Now, if you surround yourself with the wrong people, it's not going to happen. If you surround yourself with people say you can't, you won't, it doesn't work, it's impossible, well, then you got, some nice departing gifts coming, like I talked about earlier. But if you do surround yourself with the right people, it's amazing what can happen in America. So before I close, I just want to talk a little bit about where we're at here today. Montana is known as the last best place. I think it should be known as the most special place. We don't want to live anywhere else, and we probably could, but this is really it for us. And the more we travel around, in fact, we get to travel a fair amount now, and we enjoy it. Hope and I get on airplanes, and we're always excited to go out and see new things and meet new people. But we're always twice as excited to come back to Montana because it's really where it's at. So as you guys leave here today, don't forget where you came from. And as you develop yourselves into adults, into great human beings, don't forget where you came from. And remember that if you dream alone, it's only a dream. One more time, if you dream alone, it's only a dream. Thank you. Congratulations to the class of 2019, and go Bruins!
Now is the time a lot of us have been waiting for, the reading of the class roll. If I could please ask our first valedictorians to come forward.
Oh boy.
Do you need the names or the handing?
Make sure you guys speak loud.
I brought this just in case.
I guess so.
I was organized.
Jake Belknap Auberg. Karen Mackenzie Adams. Kristen May Albertson. Nicole Spencer Ames. Riley Ann Ames. Chloe Lynn Anderson. Brady Coulter Anderson. Cody Elijah Andrews. Gavin Hunter Ballard. Hannah Grace Banker. Ulysses Berrigan.
Connor James Bartleson. John Mitchell Bacchus. Russell Beckstead. Connor Joel Bemis. Jack Winter Bennett. Emily Jane Berry. Maggie Marie Berry. Jonah Gregory Bibeau. Colton Lane Billmeyer. Elizabeth Ann Black.
Krista Marie Blankenship. Madison Margaret Blix. Audrey Neal Bloomquist. Norris Hugh Blossom. Reese Richard Blossom. Riley Christian Bosey. Ari Paul Baumgars. Ashley Janelle Bono. Jordan Thomas Boyd. Cole Ray Bradford.
Hunter Daniil Brewer. Keegan Teague Brewer. Cassie Briscoe. Noah Dylan Brooks. Kira Jaylee Brown. Leanne Farron Bunnis. Kyle Dylan Burns. Wyatt J. Burrell. Sarah Elizabeth Burry.
Brian Cooper Buscini. Dylan Aaron Campbell. Sydney Christine Carlson. Daniel Lonzo Carter. Brennan Andrew Casey. Taylor Peyton Krisky Hall. Ray LaRue Clevenger. Gabriella Carroll Ann Clinch. Kathleen Sky Coddington.
Riley Joseph Cooper.
Kayler Ray Cox. Chelsea Jewel Cox. Tyler Mason Cummings. Brianna Jean Curry. Elizabeth Ann Davidson. Ethan Jess Davidson. Skylar Lee Davis. Daniel Shane Dobson.
Cameron Knight Dorrington. Josephine Nicole Dowdy. Nolan McGrath Dulaney. Michael James Dwyer. Louis Grady Eblin. Lindsay Jean Elke. Daniel William Ernst. Adam Armstrong Falquist. Dawson Darren Fayont. Connor James Ferreter. William Charles Fields.
Eli Lewis Fitz. Savannah Eden Flemings. Brendan Michael Ford. Jonathan Matthew Ford. Nathaniel Oliver Furlong. Chelsea Anna Gates. Sydney Arlene Gates. Madison Lee Girth. Jeremiah Daniel Gibson. Mackenzie Ray Gill. Jacob Doyle Gosler. Jonathan Raymond Gosler.
Desiree Dawn Gould. Trent Thomas Grandy. Riggin James Greeny. Alaric James Gryle. Andromeda Lee Griffin. Jessica Ray Griffiths. Corey Allen Getler. Nathaniel Dwayne Hafer. Morgan Taylor Hagman. Nathan Edward James Hallower. Josie Ray Hamilton. Abigail Faith Hamper.
Augustus Ben Hansen. Emily May Hawes. Brandon Lee Hazlitt. Benjamin Charles Hines. Sorry. Lauren Grace Helbling.
Nice job, Lauren.
To Aaron's Dwayne Helgenson. I screwed that up. Brandon Joseph Heller. Delaney Rose Hepner. Allie Marie Hicks.
All right. Landon Jeffrey Highwood. Tyler Lane Hoagland. Madison Lee Holmes. Cameron Jean Holston. Jordan Robert Hopkins. Ethan Daniel House. Michaela Summer Ann Hull. Clayton James Isaacson. Kendall Rose Isaacson. Cody Lane James.
Rochelle Jolynn Jarvis. Seth Douglas Jensen. Dara Lee Johnson. John Connor Johnson. Caden Michael Johnson. Corbin Lee Kirby. Jason Jeffrey Key. Cade Daniel Kidder. Emily Ray Kidder. Tori Eve Kenyon.
Alyssa Rose Naff. Dustin Lee Knutson. Peyton Noah Cook. Rachel Ann Cosina. Matthew Mercer Krieger. Garrett John Kieber. Matthew Donald Connery. Olivia Marie Leib. Caden Ryder Lambert. Lee Garrison Lambrecht.
Hold on. Seth Everett Lang. Carson Tucker LaPrame. Katie Faye Larson. Gage Brule LaRue. John Robert LaRue. Lillian Alyssa LeGrand. Sean McHugh Leo. Brody Tank Light. Kaylee Ann Leitner. Andrew Ryan Lilivett. Megan May Lindbow.
Fiona Nicole Linville. Garrett Cole Little. Kylie Ann Longnecker. Anne Marie Lure. Cosette Alina Luna. Peter Arlo Lund. Ethan Michael Mannix. Amelia May Martis. Jacob Michael Marks. Isaac Alexander Marshall. Michaela Rose Marshall. Brady Hamilton Martin. Adam Joseph Mays. Braxton James McCormick. Matthew Lee McCumbers. Isaiah Scott McClellan.
All right. Hannah Catherine McMahon. Kaylin Nicole McMillan. Jesse Dale McMurtry. Clara Dorothy McCrae.
Isabel Brooks Melton. Madison Jean Meyer. Ethan Aaron Miller. Connor Blake Montrelli Stevenson. Jaden Bruce Knoxheim. Angel Rose Natalie. Dylan Scott Nelson. Kyler Andrew Nelson.
Sage Lindley Nelson. Thomas Shumway Nelson. Trinity Lee Nelson. Emma Noble. Kyle James Nolman. Alex William Nolby. Brady William Oakey. Tristan Blue Olds. Conrad Shea Olson. Tiana Lee Olson.
Anna Isabel Passage. Justin Allen Patton. Sarah Marie Pavsek. Amanda Marie Penley. Harrison Brent Pershawn. Travis Conrad Peterson. Natasha Rose Peterson. Nicole Lynn Peterson. Kirsty June Pierce. Jake Anthony Pipinich.
Hadley Stell Plummer. Beatrice Olivia Pujol. Kinsey Marie Quintana. DeAndre Earl Ramsey. Kendall Lauren Rath. Isaiah Lee Rhea. Audrey Dakota Reynolds. Caitlin Delaney Shea Robinson.
Caden Lee Robinson. Madeline Paige Robinson. Jaden Isabella Renee Robles Couchbrenner. Greta Ann Roeder. Hannah Joy Roos. Sarah Elizabeth Salois. Caden Michael Sammons. Trey Liam Sanford. Emma Noel Schlimgen.
Savannah Sage Schneider. Eva Marie Scott. Michaela Malloy Sainer. Caleb Allen Sen. Harold Drew Shaw. Sydney Marie Sheridan. Skylar Dalton Shields. Bailey Ann Shumway. Ethan Scott Sieber. Eli Daryl Sylvan.
It's Alasia, right? Alasia Lee Smith. Megan Ashley Smith. Dalton Cecil Snyder. Zachary Kenneth Snyder. Kara Ashlyn Solon. Jamie May Starkey. Jacob Gary Stearns. Margaret Rose Stetzer. Marshall Thomas Stewart. Go get him, Audrey.
Sophia Eileen Stitch. Nevada Lee Stramberg. Daniel Richard Stroh. Andrew Ryan Stroop. Jeremy Allen Strout. Christian Jeffrey Swingley. Tucker William Tangent. Marissa Leanne Tenter. Mariah Colleen Thomas. Amy Elizabeth Thompson.
Hayden Clark Tillinger. Alyssa Marie Tompkins. Lucas Aaron Trevsker. Justin Bradley Turner. Luke Marshall Ulmer.
Ariel Brooke Van Dale. Camus Gage Van Dale. Riley Murray Van Diest. Rachel Marie Vincent. Zachary Douglas Wadhams.
Big dog. Lawson Reiner Walkenhorst. Xylon James Walker. Priscilla Jill Wallace. Jeremiah Paul Gabriel Walmsley. JC Lynn Wellnell. Demetrius Nathaniel White. Natalie Marie White. Noah Crockett Whitehorn. Samantha Rochelle Wiggin. Dalton James Wiggins. Okay. Tell me earlier.
Cassandra Lorraine Williams. Liberty Michelle Williams. Piper Jade Willoughby.
Congratulations, you did it. Thank you.
Dakota Earl Wilson. Peyton Scott Witham. Michaela Faye Witter. Brittany Michelle Woods. Richard Joseph Wright.
Can you wait for me to wait, please?
Trenton Neal Wright. Dawson Riley Ziegler.
There you go. Thank you. Did we do the valedictorians last time? We already did. Did we? Okay. No. Oh, skirt down. I guess. Are we off or? I think we're off. Yeah, we're off. This one.
So, we have one last little bit here. And I could not think of a better way to end than a short performance by a senior who has poured his heart and soul into a variety of bands and could be seen in memorable performances occurring while playing in the pep band, during assemblies, and even a performance at the state basketball tournament that went viral on Twitter. And to quote Saturday Night Live, "I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell." Noah Whitehorn, everyone. Yeah! At this time, before the conferring of the diplomas, I would like you to participate in the turning of the tassel, symbolizing your transition from candidate to graduate. Please move your tassel from right to left. On behalf of the school board of the Helena School District Number 1, I declare the class of 2019 graduated.